I'm feeling better the last few days. I guess it's been maybe 3-4 days. I feel stronger again. This grief journey is so complicated. There are times where I feel, like halfway normal, and it will go for a few days and I start to wonder, what's going on, what's wrong. It's kind of like when you're really, really happy. I know sometimes it's hard, but you start to wonder, how long is this happiness gonna last? It's kind of a pessimistic view, I suppose, but everybody has their fears, so they wonder, oh my goodness, I'm so happy, life is very good, how long can this last? Similar situation for me when I'm feeling strong. I wonder what's wrong. This is so weird, I am feeling okay-ish. I would never say so far that I've been feeling normal. I definitely don't feel normal, but there's so many things to cover. I just felt like my brain was spread out like a tiny bit of butter on a large piece of toast. There's so many things I want to cover. I'll just start going for it. I want to tell you a little bit about my story. I lived most of my life meeting many adventures, going through hardships, being very strong and independent. I have been single all my life, had some relationships here and there, but nothing, too serious and nothing long-term. And so I just had peace within myself, that I would probably be single my whole life. And it didn't bother me that much because I was pretty independent and content and everything. So anyway, lived my life, traveled a lot, had a career, still have a career. But in 2020, I suppose you could call her a COVID baby, I got a French Bulldog, and I never had a dog before. I've had a bird and also a second bird that I looked after very briefly, but never had any pets. My parents had a cat, 2 cats, but wasn't really involved, in their lives. So really, never really had a pet before. The bird I had, unfortunately, died pretty quickly, and I didn't really bond with him. So this was really my one and only pet. And the circumstances around my getting her was complicated, so I wasn't really ready for a dog. I wanted one, but I wasn't sure if it was the right time, all that. I had a full-time job, but it was during COVID lockdown, so I did stay at home a lot during her puppyhood. Anyway, long story short is, from me having no experience, I always loved dogs, but really no experience. Suddenly I became a, dog owner, dog mom, and she came to me, sick already. It wasn't serious or anything, but she was sick, and then it kind of led to other issues. She had many little health issues that seemed, medium to minor, moderate to minor. And basically, I learned along the way. I didn't know anything, but I was very quick to start researching and learn. And I was very, very scared at times because, her whole health issue, and even just taking her to the vet was very stressful in the beginning. I learned, I improved, I had some help, I trained her, so eventually Azura was very well trained to do many, many things. So it's a long story, but basically I just fell in love with her. We didn't really bond until around her 6-month period, and after that we started bonding, and I just loved her so much. I cooked. We went through a journey with her food, but eventually I ended up home cooking everything or almost everything. You know, we went through different phases, and so fast forward to December 2024, and she suddenly got sick, went to the ER. I stayed with her. I went to the ER where you can stay with them the whole time. Stayed with her for 30 something hours. Was very, very sick. And after that, she had a very rough recovery at home. It took a long time. I didn't work, or I worked from home, whatever I could, for a long time. And then she started to be on the mend. And then she started to develop other problems that, look like totally different symptoms. And long story short is she got sick. She seemed to be on the mend. She got sicker, seemed to be on the mend. Other things cropped up. And eventually, after 3 months, she passed away. It was so difficult. It was so scary. I've been through many hard times in my life. I think I'm a very strong person. If you knew my story, I think you might begin to agree with me. But that was the scariest time in my whole life. Just to paint the picture, when I was by myself, hard things happen, hard times happen, but because it was just me being responsible for me, it was actually much easier. I'm the type of person that if you loan me a book of yours, like a novel or something, I will be on edge until I return it back to you. I'm sorry, that's just the way I am. I'll read it like this. I will not crease it really heavily. I will just read it very gently and turn the pages. I will keep it clean, and until I'm done reading it and return it to you, I will guard that book with my life. So just to give you guys a picture, if you know, you know. When I'm responsible for somebody else's stuff, like I drive someone's car or something, I'm very, very, very much heightened. My senses are heightened. So imagine if I'm caring for another creature, what my attitude might be. So caring for her, being responsible for her was a really big deal for me. And so, in the end, taking her to vet after vet after vet, and them either misdiagnosing her and leading us down the wrong path, unfortunately, or just not being sure, or just medicating her over and over, or telling me to go down this path and this path. It was difficult, and at the same time, just managing her, 24/7, even throughout the night. She was very, very sick on many, many, many nights. Juggling all that with my full-time job. Of course, I took some time off, but I couldn't take, fully time off. Just, imagine the shock too, of her initial sickness, and then the constant why isn't she getting better? Why are new symptoms coming up? You can imagine. So this is important because later I'm going to tell you about what happened to me, during this time period. But basically 3 months of that, since the day that she went into the ER, she was hemorrhaging, she was bleeding. It was very scary. I barely, I think, made it there on time. And she's had other scary ER trips where I had to act fast and, notice the signs of shock, or a very fast decline. So just barely making it to the ER on time. That has happened before. So anyway, then, she passed away in March of 2025, and now it's, just July of 2025. I guess you could say it's 3.5 months later. It's going on almost 4 months later, and I'm still not okay. she was my baby, you know, she was my daughter, she was my child, she was my family, the only family I had. And so just, you know, imagine the loss. And I'm going to talk about so many aspects of this in future videos. One by one, little by little, the story will unfold, you know, and I will unravel all the complicated, you know, parts of this journey and my experience. But especially during the last 3 months, I really saw more and more of Azura and who she was. I learned a lot about her throughout her, you know, 4 years-ish, 4.5 years of her life. But really during the last 3 months, I learned so much about her, and she taught me so much. I'm so grateful, and she was so beautiful, and I will never be the same. But during the last 3 months, you know, I gave her a lot more freedom to, you know, roam around, you know, run around. We'd go to the mall, we'd go to places we would walk around in our community inside, and it really showed me what kind of girl she was. She would go up to strangers and, you know, do her little happy dance and just make their day. She would convert non-animal people into animal lovers. She really made people feel loved and important. Every time my friends would come over, she would sit right in front of the foyer beforehand and just sit there and wait in utter blissful and excited anticipation. Nervous, good or nervous energy as well. She had a lot of energy, and that's the kind of girl she was. She loved animals, she loved people, she loved social encounters, she loved food, she loved her toys. But I learned so much from her, and anyway, I truly became a dog lover towards the end of her life, and I really began to open my eyes. And after she passed away, I learned so much about dogs. I was searching for answers. I was searching for healing. I was searching for a pathway through this grief, you know, and bereavement. I was searching for comfort, and I couldn't find. And even though I have amazing friends and loved ones, family support, it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And so I kept on searching and searching, and I just realized, you know, how lucky I was and how much I just loved Azura's company. And all the time that I had with her, I just cherished so much. And I'm grateful for that. I didn't take it for granted. Every Sunday I look forward to. I was busy living my life, working, all that. Every morning and every evening was my time with Azura before I got ready for work, and after I came home from work. They were my most cherished, loved times. They were busy. They were very busy. But they were my most cherished times. And Sundays, oh, I would look forward to a Saturday night when I was wrapping up my work. Oh, I was just so happy to let my hair down and just spend time with Azura. And Sundays were my days where I could just, you know, spend the whole day with her. We often would go on long day trips that day. I just really enjoyed my one-on-one time with her. We would go out places, meet people, meet doggies, see things, and I just adored that